Welcome to the Still a Man platform, where real conversations leads to real growth. Every Monday, step into Man in the Mirror, a platform where people come to share their journey, their past, their present, and the future. Real stories, real reflections, and real transformation. On Tuesdays, tap into the heart of the conversation with Still a Man podcast, honest talk, raw truth, and the kind of realness most people are afraid to dig into. And every Wednesday, ease into the middle of your week with Wind Down Wednesday, your space to reset, release, and recharge. 3 shows, 3 experiences, 1 platform built on truth, growth, and connection. Support the movement, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Mondays, Man in the Mirror. Tuesdays, Still a Man podcast. Wednesdays, Wind Down Wednesday. This is the Still a Man platform. Real talk, real life, real people.
This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic, an American nightmare. Okay, so when I was a young boy, I heard a recording of Dr. Martin Luther King prophesizing his dream. Since that date, I often ponder about the timeless words that I heard. Needless to say, I'm somewhat perturbed because seemingly Martin's dream has become a dream deferred. Our once great nation now lacks democracy, and our government is plagued with hypocrisy. American people, beware, because the American dream has become an American nightmare. All right, we got 11 questions. Let's see if we can get through all of them. All right, so I want you guys to use your imagination. Close your eyes and imagine the current America fading to black. Forget everything that your history books taught you and open your mind to a new way of thinking. All right, let's go. We got 11 questions. Let me give you the first one. Open notes. All right, I hear somebody's TV. Mute that, please. All right, let's go. Question number 1. What if African ships pulled up to the coast of Europe, not for trade, but for conquest, subsequently colonizing the Americas? And for this conversation, when I'm referring to the Americas, I am talking about what we know America. That's what we call America today. All right, just so we're clear. All right, so again, question number 1. What if African ships pulled up to the coast of Europe, not for conquest, but for trade? Not for trade, but for conquest, subsequently colonizing the Americas. Change the sheets. All right, let's go to Bird first.
Daddy, wait a minute.
Let's go to Bird first.
I don't know, man. You lost me somewhere. If African ships pulled up to Europe to conquest, what's the question?
So the question is, what if African ships pulled up to the coast of Europe, not for trade, but for conquest, subsequently colonizing the Americas? So you know how supposedly explorers pulled up to Africa and they started a slave trade, get it? And then subsequently they colonized the Americas, supposedly. So now, what if it happened in reverse? African ships pulled up to the shores of Europe and they conquered those people, subsequently colonizing America. Got it now?
How could they? What does conquering Europe have to do with them now? What, coming to America to colonize us?
Yes,
Like now, or if this happened back then?
if it happened back then.
I don't know. Maybe that's way over my head. I
Okay,
don't think I think that way, but I don't know.
okay. Let's let uh let's let Sean try it. So, Sean, what if African ships pulled up to the shores of Europe, not for trade, but for conquest, subsequently colonizing the Americas? What would have happened?
Think an all-out war would have broke out because there's no way that they was going to allow colored folks to come over there and try to take over anything.
Okay, good answer. Patsy, what do you say? You gotta turn your mic on, Patsy.
I'm sorry, I forgot I had it off. It would have been an outright war, like Sean said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tanya, you with us?
Yeah.
What if African ships pulled up to the coast of Europe, not for trade, but for conquest, subsequently colonizing the Americas?
Okay, so when you say colonizing the Americas, do you mean that if they put turning Europe into the Americas?
Nope. I mean, just as what happened in Africa, where supposedly explorers pulled up, established the slave trade, and then they went on to colonize. Those same explorers went on to colonize what we now know as America.
Okay, I think that's where you're losing me at because you saying that if the African slave folks went to African people went to the Europe basically
Yeah,
and kidnapped those people as slaves.
you got it.
Okay, and then brought them back to Africa.
Brought them to America.
Oh, brought them to America.
Yes, or went on to so-called colonize America.
Yeah, I think there would have been a war because you already had the Native Americans here who didn't who didn't appreciate them coming and doing what they did to them, and now you bringing more. You Africans is bringing more over to where we are to try to take over our land.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been, yeah, it would have been, it probably would have been them against the Native Americans.
Okay. Gregory, hold tight because I already know you should have a wealth of information about this.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Duchess, what about you? Kiana, you with us?
Yeah, I mean, if they were outgunned and out artillery, they'd have no choice but to be conquered. So I'm not sure what the question really is. Do I think that they would have fought harder than Africans fought?
Yeah.
No. I mean, if Europe didn't have, let's just say Europe didn't have guns and Africans did, what the hell could they do?
Okay. Now, I'm gonna say this before I go to Robert and Gregory. Guys, don't overthink this. Just listen to the question and just answer it to the best of your ability. Like I said, use your imagination and try not to feed into what you learn.
Mhm.
You gotta think outside your your lessons that you got in school. All right. So Robert, same question. And just listen to the question.
I pretty much,
You
I'm going
got
to
it?
try to answer it to
All
the
right.
best
Go
of
ahead.
my ability. Black people, you do know, if we did have a chance to reverse this, do you really think it would have been any different outcome? This was already written. These people, I'm just going to take the European part out of it. I'm going to say Caucasian, Africans, blacks. If you think for 1 second we was going to be able to go over there and do what they did, and we wasn't going to fade the black, the true meaning of shut eye, close your eyes, night night, it was going to be the same results, even if we tried to do something different. Because, like some say, we probably didn't have the gunpowder. We probably didn't have the muscle or the brains to work together. So I think that the Europeans would have still did exactly what they did. They had probably more means to do. They had the helping hands, should I say.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let y'all answer. I'm gonna let all y'all answer. Gregory, hold on for a second. Itama, is that you? Are you participating? Are you listening, or are you answering questions? iPhone? All right. So I'm gonna take that as that you're listening. Ah, Gregory, give us your perspective. If African ships pulled up to the coast of Europe, not for trade, but for conquest, subsequently colonizing the Americas, what we now know as America.
Um, I like to say that is exactly what happened. Knowing that when I came in high school, they was teaching me that the transatlantic slave trade was told in reverse. And the African people are the ones that really started doing it anyways, because in the Middle Ages, they already had the white people as slaves. That's why they was called
Yep.
slaves, because they was Slavic people. And your swarthy, dark skinned colored people was on all four corners of the earth. So when you start to get into that story of slavery, you start to find out that this is a story of greed and power manipulation, of where your own brothers turned on you and took their slaves and basically put them in power and put in places where we were already in power. If you keep going back in the royal family, start to realize that the people that are calling themselves the royal family right now can't be the royal family, because these people were actually black. And then these people rewrote your history and your religious texts and a whole bunch of stuff. It's crazy, but there is a shadow hand of black people that helped do that. And I don't know if you're up on your history about that. It's about the Moorish people
Yep.
trading on these empires that we had all around the world. We already conquered America. There was dark skinned people already here. It wasn't that we conquered America. We colonized America. We colonized every city. Most of the cities that you see, like the Vatican City and all this stuff, they can't explain to you how these places was built,
Built.
because these
Mhm.
aren't the original people that were there.
Correct.
Save the
Mhm.
best for last, huh? Sean, you want to
Yeah.
add something in there?
Nope, I completely agree because that's what I learned.
Okay, so does that paint a clearer picture for everybody else that was uncertain? All right, so let me add this.
Oh, let me put it this way. Them kingdoms and palaces that you see these people ruling all over the world, North America, South America, Europe, Asia, all that stuff, there were black people there. It's on the writings in the wall, on the walls. Excuse me.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of my head, Gregory. I was just
Mm-hmm.
about to tell them now. Okay, so let me elaborate. Robbie, back to what you said. You fear that it would have resulted the same way. Because according to history, according to research, uh, when this all supposedly went down, Europe was destitute. They were struggling. Meanwhile, in Africa, the motherland, they were thriving. They had great resources. They were a wealthy continent. So there's no way they were stronger. So
What
again,
happened?
whitewash. That's what happened.
History. The people, your victors of the wars that y'all was talking about would have happened. That really happened. Like Tanya said, it would have been a war between the native. That and I'm not gonna say the native people. I'm gonna say the Aboriginal people of those lands, which was happening all over the world until they conquered the people, and then you got the great burning of the Alexandria Library and stuff like that, which is probably books from all melanated people. The only reason why they don't want you to know that because they want you to think that your people been in Africa in tribal form, not making anything. And so they can tell you, well, if your people are the people that built these cities, then why haven't they built nothing in Africa yet? Shit like that, just to confuse people.
So we're gonna come back to
But
that.
that's why they're trying to do away with our Black history now,
Yep.
because there is stuff in these Smithsonians and stuff like that
Yes,
that a
yes.
lot of people have not tapped into
Yes,
because they
yes.
stay on the surface of what they was taught as opposed to going
Yes,
in
yes,
and
yes.
digging deep like you what you just acknowledged.
Mhm. And this is why I said you are going to have to shed the old ways, your old ideology, your old lessons, because there are new lessons within those so-called original teachings. So you're going to have to go and do the research. And this is a fun time to be alive because we have the internet and you can have access to information that you didn't have when we was growing up. New literature, supposedly new literature, is just written. It's updated basically. So this is gonna be great. All right, so that was just a warm up. Y'all should be ready
But
now.
this is the age of misinformation. So you got to be careful about what you go and get off the internet as well.
We know, but T, you a believer. You know you have a level of discernment, right?
Yeah,
All right, so you're gonna be fine.
I'm just putting it out there.
You're gonna be fine. People gotta you gotta you gotta think outside the box. That's what it is. They really want to know you gotta think outside the box. But y'all are all intelligent people. Y'all gonna be able to answer these questions. This ain't over your head. Just don't overthink it. Um, Question number two. Would white Americans have a different perspective as it relates to slavery if their people were forced into bondage or shipped across the Atlantic Ocean, savagely beaten, or stripped of their religion, or torn away from their people, and forced, and I say again, forced to work the lands of their oppressors? Tanya?
You would think so because at some point in history they were indentured servants. You would think that they would have a different outlook, but then there's that the privilege.
You can say it. We all grown. We live and we endure it, so you can say it. All right. Patsy, same question.
Um, I definitely would think so. If that was given the case. Um, but unfortunately now it's not. But if the role was reversed, I definitely would think they would feel differently.
Okay.
That's my answer.
All right. Duchess, what do you say? If white Americans were forced into slavery, would they have a different perspective about slavery?
Repeat the question.
Okay. Hold on. Give you the full question. Question number 2. Would white Americans have a different perspective as it relates to slavery if their people were forced into bondage, shipped across the Atlantic Ocean, robbed their religion, torn from their families, savagely beaten, and forced to work the lands of their oppressors?
Yeah, they probably would. But um, but if they have big egos, then they wouldn't.
Okay. Let's get the gentlemen's perspectives. Robbie, what do you say?
No real human is going to want to be treated that way. So they're going to feel exactly the way the ones felt that was treated that way. The black people, the colored people back then that went through it.
Okay. B, you still with us? Bert?
You.
All right. Same question. Did you hear the question or do you need it again?
I heard the question, but I mean, I think this is way more than what I'm ready for, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to think that coulda, woulda, shoulda, what you're talking about. That's not what we're living in. And I don't know if I can think in that realm that you're talking about. Like, I mean, white America would definitely, anybody's perspective would have changed if it happened to them. I mean, it happened to the Jews, it happened to the Scottish, it happened all over to the world. The different,
Mm-hmm.
countries were taken over, dictated in, beat, abused, slaved. The Jews in the Holocaust had happened, but we're talking white America. White America all came from Europe. That was how white America was formed, through Europeans. So I don't know the perspective. I guess if the shoe was on the other foot, I think there would be the same level of what they feel. White America would feel as the African Americans felt or Africans felt. So I don't know. You're
No,
going
no, no,
past me.
no, no. You just answered the question. So you do know. You just gave your perspective. You answered the question.
I
Chief
know it's
Buddy,
a fantasy.
But
Gregory,
What's the question again?
question number 2. Would white Americans have a different perspective as it relates to slavery if they were forced into bondage, shipped across the Atlantic Ocean, robbed of their religion, beaten like savagely beaten, forced to work the lands of their oppressors?
I don't think they would because, like I was saying earlier, they're coming from the dark age, the Middle Ages, where they already were savage like this, and they were being exiled from different countries anyways because they wasn't civilized. So you got them people that came over here that was peasants and all this other stuff that were being exiled from their country. Same thing with I don't know if you noticed, the Jewish people have been exiled from over 111 countries or something like that, which is crazy because then when you get into their history, you never heard nothing about a Holocaust until 1990 or something like that. So these people will take up a different face and do the same thing that was being done to them and not give a goddamn about the people underneath of them because they're on a power aspect of things. They feel like it happened to us. We're going to keep it this way. We're never going to go back to the old way.
Mm, okay. Sean, what's your perspective?
That's a very good point, Dave Gregory. Um, I'm gonna try to say similar to what he says in my own words. That was very profound what he just said. Um, I guess the key words in the question that you asked were if they were taken from their countries and brought to another location and forced to build up that world or what have you, that like how Gregory said, that they would have adapted because they were already, I'm gonna use the word peasant, because they, like you said, they was already exiled from their own homelands, or someone came in and took over that didn't even make them slaves like that, just came in and took over the culture of their country.
All right. Does anyone have a rebuttal? All right, we're gonna expand on that very thing. Question number 3. Do you think that the Americas would have prospered more so if they would initially indoctrinated uh, African medicine, religion, music, literature, and agriculture? Sean?
Bird has left the meeting.
Repeat that again. That was a lot.
So do you think that the Americas would have prospered more so today if they would have initially indoctrinated African medicine, religion, music, literature, and agriculture?
But they did do all of that stuff. They just didn't give you credit for
it. You get it. so
Let's not just say African, let's say American too, because there was black people already here and we were already using things
yeah,
as medicine.
but
And
the
we had our
question,
own culture and goddamn dancing, tribal dance, and all this other stuff that they basically took from us and told us that we wasn't a part of it anymore. And then they told you couldn't use certain plants and stuff to heal yourself anymore. Most of the medicine that you see is coming from these lands, North, South America, and Middle America. Most of them, the things that heal the body, a lot of that stuff from the Bible is all on on American grounds. Excuse me, not North American, American grounds.
Sean, did you have more? Sean?
No, I was good.
Robert, the same question. Would America prospered more today if they would have initially indoctrinated the African medicine, literature, music, religion, and agriculture?
I say yeah. Although Sean said they already had been using, the African Americans medicine and stuff, just not giving them credit. But just think, besides giving them credit, if they would work beside them
Hmm.
from way back then up until now, they'll be so far ahead in time. Instead of focusing on stealing from them, they should have let them do what they do best and keep producing. You're still going to gain money in the pharmaceutical companies because you're going to have more quality medicine put out there. So you stealing it, watering it down, trying to duplicate their recipes.
Okay, well said, well said. Let's go to ladies. Timmy, welcome. I seen you. I'm gonna go to ladies and I'm come back to you. Patsy, same question. Question number 3. Do you think that the Americas would have prospered more so today if they would initially indoctrinated African medicine, literature, music, religion, and agriculture?
I think so because they it would have been incorporated in everybody's culture here,
Ooh.
and more utilized and prosperous, not just for white Americans, but African Americans. and all cultures that are coming, that came into this country, that they would have given out some good information. Yeah, just created stuff that we all could use. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Tanya, what do you say, beloved?
Repeat the question.
Okay. Do you think that America would have prospered more so today if they would have initially indoctrinated African medicine, religion, literature, music, and agriculture? All right, I'm dragging somebody. I got an anchor on.
I think that if people, if they would have came with the mindset of integrating instead of conquering, there's a lot of different music, medicine, everything that you said, agriculture, that could have benefited, because every culture has something that could have benefited everybody as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So if it would have came with a more mindset, basically, I'm gonna say yes, it would have benefited more, but more so if every aspect was integrated.
Okay. Timmy, you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, do you think that the Americas would have prospered more so today if they would initially indoctrinated African medicine, religion, literature, music, and agriculture? So, in layman's terms, if they would have, not only took advantage of the things that the Black culture or the continent had to offer and let them lead, as opposed to them taking the lead and discrediting them, or just basically saying, just taking their ideas and trying to implement them and doing it wrongly. If they would have just let them lead as opposed to them leading, do you think that America would be in better standards today?
I think America is at its best when all cultures contribute, because that's what America is. It's a melting pot of different cultures. So if all cultures participate together, then America would be a better place.
Okay. Let's go to question number 4, unless anyone has anything to add. All right. So we're gonna go to the next one. Question number 4. Question number 4. If Christopher Columbus encountered the Zulu nation upon his travels to the Americas in 1492, would they have established trade, turned him away, or vanquished him and his forces upon their arrival? I'm gonna go back to Timmy. Timmy, what do you say? If Christopher Columbus, and just so we stay into the scheme of things, we are talking about the American nightmare under the guise that everything that you once knew about America, it's been flipped upside down, and everything that happened to the supposed African American happened to the Europeans that supposedly colonized what we now know as America. So again, if Christopher Columbus had encountered the Zulu nation in 1492, when coming to these shores known as the Americas, would they had turned him away, established a system of trade, or vanquished him and his forces upon their arrival? Timmy?
Well, Christopher Columbus was really stupid. I don't know why his dumb ass is in the goddamn history books because he was real stupid. And because he was stupid and he didn't want to go back to Spain without anything, so he come and act like he discovered something which he didn't, and then gonna take credit for stuff that he didn't do. Now, that's why I say he's stupid because he didn't have first and foremost the dumbass thought the planet was square. So he right then and there that just tells you he's stupid.
So, in his comfort and stupidity, if he would have encountered the Zulu nation, how do you think that he would have fared?
He would have did the same thing like he did claiming stuff. But they probably would have definitely negotiating. It would have been definitely negotiation deals because we did finesse dumb people.
Okay.
And
Say less. So Tanya, let me ask you the same question. Question number 4. If Christopher Columbus had encountered the Zulu nation upon his travels to the Americas in 1942, would they have turned him away, established a system of trade, or vanquished him and his forces upon their arrival?
I think they would have turned them away.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because when they came, they brought nothing but diseases and the white people out. They were if the we're talking the Zulu nation.
That's right.
That's in Africa.
We're talking about warriors.
Yeah, I think that they would have turned him away because they were already prospering, already building. They already had their own cultural, their own community cultural thing going on, trade, um, farming, building. They was smart people. They was already working together. I think they would have turned them away.
Okay. Patsy, same question.
What's the question again? I'm sorry.
No worries. If Christopher Columbus encountered the Zulu nation, I'm referring to Shaka Zulu and his tribe, his warriors, on his travels in 1492, do you think that they would have turned him away, established a system of trade, or vanquished him and his forces upon their arrival?
I think they would have vanquished him altogether if they knew what he was really up to.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. Brimage, same question.
I don't know because I was sitting over here in my head and saying, "Wow, was or were those the people that tie you to a tree and dance around you and sing songs?"
Ooh.
So if they would have came across him, I'm wondering could they have tried to negotiate some trades and deals, even just to see where he got? Then found out that he was kind of tricky and sticky. So now they ask him to leave. He didn't leave. Instead of killing him, they tied him to the pole, lit a fire, and just danced around, sing songs. I don't know. I think that they will honestly ask him to leave probably. And if he didn't, then they would have dealt with it accordingly.
Okay. Sean, what do you say?
KiPad has joined the meeting.
Don't know if, and I'm going off the deep end here, to come over and try to conquer and then try to establish culture and language. I think would have been the ultimate challenge for them.
Okay. Duchess, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the question. Question number 4. If Christopher Columbus had encountered the Zulu nation in 1492 upon his travels to the Americas, would they have turned him away, established a system of trade, or vanquished both him and his forces upon their arrival?
I mean, if I feel well, since this is a alternate universe, they would have made him a slave, so he wouldn't have made it past the shores when he got here. He'd be done. No, we're not trading with him. Can't be trusted.
Good answer. Good answer.
I think I like Kiana's answer. Because they came over and surveyed the land and went back and told them that the people were defenseless, they were stupid people, you know, that basically we would just pray for the taking. And that's why they came back.
Let me get him. Let me get him, Tonya. And that is because, in all actuality, before the 14th, 13th century, they were already trying to come over to America. And every time they came over here, you know what they was met by? Poison, flame, thrown arrows. And there's plenty of stories. Even a king from over there lost his eye or something like that in one of the stories. So when they get back to Columbus, it comes into the play where somebody actually traded on the people that were already in the Americas. The only reason why they were friendly when Columbus did come back is because they had Moors with them. They had black people with them that can talk, that can actually translate language with them and speak with them and make it seem like these people were coming for good. But in all actuality, they was coming to observe and try to figure out why these people have things that they don't have, basically. Like, look at the corn. Look at the corn. They took the corn, what we used to call maize, changed the name of it, and brought it over there, and now all the corn that's in the world is fake because it had some type of property that was healing people.
And there lies your answer. You said there was someone amongst them that made it so that we trusted them. And
Yeah, because there was no question that they was being met with arrows when they came to this land over there.
And there should be no question as to who the someones were. It was the Moors, because they could not navigate successfully without the Moors. True or false?
That's true. Yeah, I was saying that too. Somebody actually helped them come and conquer these people over there.
And
that goes back into that greed and power thing that I was talking about.
I say it had to be the Moors.
It happens today.
Huh?
I said it happens today.
Yes, it has. There's a wolf amongst us. Looks like us, talks like us, somewhat walks like us, but they are not like us. All right, anybody got a rebuttal? All right, this is fun. Gregory.
Just turn down the volume, okay?
All right, so let's go to question number 5. Question number 5. How would America's current infrastructure look if all of its prior presidents was members of the black race? Now I'm referring to current affairs, how America looks currently today. All right. How would the infrastructure look if all of its prior presidents were members of the black race? Sean?
I'm sorry, hit me with that beginning part one more time.
How would America's current infrastructure look if all of its prior presidents were members of the black race?
um, I think ooh, ooh, it would be, I think, somewhat similar almost to what it is now because of the fact that, and you all stated it in the last question,
Mm-hmm.
not just because they were all black didn't mean that they all believed and agreed on the same thing.
Got it. Got it. Good. Good. I like that. You got more?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm good.
All right. Tanya, what do you say?
I
If
like what I like
uh,
what Sean said
mm-hmm,
because we just said that there's some wolves among the sheep.
mm-hmm, okay. Duchess, what do you say?
I mean, if we were to be as a collective, to want to be our brother's keeper, then we'd be in a good place. But if we were an eye for an eye society, then we wouldn't be in a great place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Timmy, what do you say? You got to turn your mic on so you can be heard.
I agree with Kiana and Tanya.
Okay. Patsy, what do you say?
It'll probably look similar. I don't think there would be as much controversy or racism as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Still disagreements, still not always 100% on the same page, but there'll be more people cordial and less hate within this country. That's what I say.
Yeah, like that. Brimage?
Sorry. I'm agreeing with Kiana, and I'll just add this: if it was like she said, if we was all on the same page, then would be out front probably would be the three X's for me: shrewd, strong, and the other one was slick.
Hmm.
You know,
G, what you say?
Let me get the question again, big dog.
What would America's current infrastructure look like if all of its prior presidents were members of the black race?
Um, with that implication, it would mean that we were never conquered and there was never no type of civil unrest or mental discombobulation where we're going through some type of crisis in our own mind where we feel like we need to conquer too, and now we got to get above this game that's being played called life. You get what I'm saying? So now it's all of us, and we know that we come from peaceful people, not savage, not people that were killing each other, conquering each other. Anglo-Saxon, Viking history. This is all history. So it's not that I'm saying some racist stuff. These people were actually savage compared to civilized, peaceful Aboriginal people all around the world.
Mm.
So I think if it was just a nation of all of us, it would be still a peaceful trading time. What did they call that? Michu Picchu or something like that when they were trading all throughout the Americas. You got some gold, you got some silver, let's trade. Like, I got some fish over here, let's trade.
I am inclined to agree with you, because if this was the case, then the founding fathers would have been already knowledgeable about the land when they wrote up um when they wrote up the laws of the land. It would have included us, and again, because Africans are allegedly godly individuals, then their laws would have been God's laws, and we would still be governed by God's laws and not man's laws. So, unless, like mankind has a habit of doing, giving over to their wicked side, then I guess that's when we would have probably visit some issues. But I think it would have been different. And the faces that you see on Mount Rushmore, and mind you, guys, do your history. Where is Mount Rushmore located? In the Black Hills.
That's because those faces on Mount Rushmore was altered. When they first came here, those heads was already here and they looked like black people.
Hmm. So whoever did the alteration was very skilled. If they took a black man and made him look like a white man, they must have been very skilled. That's all I can say. That must require some great skills. Because that wasn't like the what you call it, the statues and stuff in Egypt where they just basically shot off the noses and did other things supposedly. Um, but I give benefit of the doubt, G, because if they did it there, it could happen here. Um, Anybody got a rebuttal? All right, let's pay these bills real quick. Okay, people, this episode of the Still a Man podcast is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. Remember, everyone, EmporiumPlus.org is an online store. If you can't find what you are looking for in this store, then you are not shopping in the right store. Oh, and I would be remiss if I do not mention this. Today, I believe, Reverend Jesse Jackson was called home. He went on to glory, so God bless him and rest in peace. Jesse ran for president in 1984 and in 1988.
Funded by Donald J. Trump.
All right. And Robert, can you tell the people what they may find in EmporiumPlus.org store? All right. So these are some of the brands that you can find in EmporiumPlus.org. You can find brands like USERM, Still a Man, SOS Support Our Sisters, Envy Forever, Adapt the Parish Lady First, and lots of items with Emporium Plus on printed on it. All right, guys, let's get back to the questions. All right, does anyone have anything to add before we go on to question number 6? All right, let's go to question number 6. Question number 6, we're going to start with Tanya.
Robert Brewington has left the meeting.
Tanya, question number 6. Did America's hierarchy teach Black people to hate the color of their skin, or does this hate stem from within?
That's a good question, Dave. I'm going to say that the hierarchy taught them to hate the color of their skin by making them feel like they was less than.
Like that, like that. Duchess, what you say?
What did you can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
I think I got it, but I wasn't sure.
Did America's hierarchy teach black people to hate the color of their skin, or does said hate come from within?
No, you can't hate within without somebody um putting a I guess a stereotype or what is supposed to be ideal beauty, but that caused some people to hate themselves. That caused more people to love themselves. So if you're trying to make me into something that I'm not, why would I want to be that?
Mm, mm. Like that, like that. Patsy, what do you say?
What's the question again? I'm sorry.
Did America's hierarchy teach black people to hate the color of their skin, or does this hate comes from within?
Um, I think it's a combination, but it stemmed from the hierarchy saying you gotta hate yourself and put blemishes in their mind and spirit. That's what I say.
Okay, like that. Timmy, what do you say?
Come back to me. I'm eating.
Gregory, same question.
I think it's deeper than just a hate for your skin color. Like Malcolm X said, who taught you to hate in general? Because we weren't walking around hating people. That wasn't a part of our being spiritually. But yeah, they definitely taught you to hate the color of your. This is just reminded me of a Malcolm X speech. That's all.
Okay. Sean, same question.
Repeat, please.
Did America's hierarchy
Mhm.
teach black people to hate the color of their skin, or does this hate stem from within?
This hate stems from within because, again, as it was stated by many members on the panel, that we had a system among ourselves that we had our own indoctrine against one another. And so, being that it was already there, it was just emphasized more.
I agree, because colorism is something that has existed way before these
Mhm.
people got a hold of our people. They just took our weaknesses and they amplified them. So any hate that we had towards ourselves, let an extension others of our race, they just used it as an agent of division.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because we did in different cultures, whether it be Haiti, Africa, places like that, they still discriminate by race and class.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, does anybody have anything else to add? All right, we're gonna go to question number 7. What would America's
I
over
do,
oh,
but
go
all
ahead.
of those places white people have touched. So it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to
No,
do with them.
no, ma'am, no, ma'am.
I,
This if you go and look at the history of these different countries before we even knew anything about white people touching there, we had our kingdoms and palaces and all that. And so before even Africa has always amongst themselves have had slaves.
okay.
All right, does anybody else have anything to add? All right, we're gonna go to question number 7. What would America's overall response be if Black people were suddenly granted privilege based upon the color of their skin? Duchess, you're up first.
Oh, certain people would lose their minds.
And you care to name these certain people?
White people would lose their minds. They now the savages that they say that we are, they would become their true selves. They would be savages and scavengers. They would try to take what's not theirs, but that's in their nature. And they would be they would lose their minds. That's all.
Okay. So is it safe to say that this is what's transpiring current date? The fear of that happening?
Their biggest fear is that we would do to them what they have done to us.
Mhm. The original sin of America, or as they would say, the alleged. All right, let's go to Patsy. Patsy, same question.
Um, I've just been distracted a little bit tonight because of the parades,
No
and then
worries,
just
no
kind
worries.
of
I can give it to you again if you need it.
yes.
Okay. What would the overall response of America be if Black people were suddenly granted
Yeah, I never
privilege based upon their color of skin?
that shit was good.
I'm confused about that.
All right, so you can pass. Timmy, same question. Are you ready? I repeat, Timmy, are you ready? Okay. Tanya, same question.
Yeah, I'm ready. I done clicked out.
I'm gonna come back to you. Tanya,
Repeat the question.
what would be the overall response of America if Black people were suddenly granted privilege based upon the color of their skin?
Oh, I agree with what Kiana said.
Okay. Timmy, same question.
What would it be if black had privilege? Uh yeah, I think people that were uh you know stealing and taking people's stuff and claiming it as theirs, I think those people would be very upset. And like Tiana said, they worry about if we're going to do the same thing. But we're not evil people. We just want our fucking 40 acres in land, and you know we don't want no problems. We want to live our lives just like they want to live their lives.
Huh? Gregory, same question.
Now get the question again.
What would America's overall response be if Black people were suddenly granted privilege based upon the color of their skin?
It'll be absolute chaos. I don't think they would be able to take it because look at them right now. They're mad about us complaining about our families coming out of slavery and they're calling it black fatigue or something like that. It doesn't make any type of sense. So imagine if we did have the so-called perpetual black card that they try to say that we use here and there. They would be going crazy, completely nuts. Even I just seen an episode, a Epstein goddamn, he was doing an interview with somebody and he basically blamed Bill Clinton for allowing black people to become home buyers or something like that. So it's just crazy.
Sean, what's your perspective?
Robert Brewington has joined the meeting.
Um, I think that, give me the question because I want to answer it properly.
What would America's overall response be if Black people were suddenly granted privilege based upon the color of their skin?
I like what Kiana said earlier, with an exception to them thinking that we would do to them what they did to us. I believe that they know that that's not what our mentality is. Their biggest concern and biggest fear is the fact that they will no longer be in control. And us given granted power because of our skin and our color and this, that, and the other, they would probably feel like we no longer need them and they will be irrelevant to us.
Mm-hmm. Because then they would have to come to terms with the truth. White privilege versus Black privilege would be us meeting them where they are at and surpassing them.
Mm-hmm.
The pyramid
because go ahead, G.
No, I said the pyramid scheme would be over at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You have more to add, Sean?
No, sir.
Rimich, you with us?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and agree with what Sean just had answered to.
All right, stay right there. I'm going to hit you with the next question first. Let me get you the good one. Is America's unrest due to the sins of its founding fathers or this nation's inability to erase the Black race? You need it again or you got it?
You're wondering if we're suffering due to the sins of what they did to our people, our fallen people, or is it due to what was the other part?
Is America's current unrest due to the sins of its founding fathers or this nation's inability to erase the Black race?
Started with the first and it's still going on with the second, so I'm gonna say both. You heard me?
One more time, Robin.
I will say it's both in my eyes. It started off with the founders, but I'm gonna say that they can erase the Black history is embedded in people's brains. You don't need television, internet, books to tell you what's going on, what you've seen in your very, very eyes, your own vision. You're living it. You're seeing it, hearing it, smelling it, tasting it. So they're never going to be able to get rid of it because your next door neighbor is going to be a color person. You're going to experience how they are living in their own residence.
Well said, sir. It's clear to me that you understand the assignment. Duchess, you ready?
What?
Are you ready? You need the question or you got it?
What's the question?
Is America's unrest due to the sins of its founding fathers or their inability to erase the Black race?
Repeat that again.
is America's unrest due to the sins of their founding fathers or their inability to erase the black race?
Both.
All right. That was easy. Patsy, what you say?
I think it's like a combination of everything. They don't. They can't erase the Black history, and they're just confused and can't be able to adapt to stuff. You know? Yeah.
Like it, like it. Tanya, you still with us?
Yep.
You ready? Or you need the question again?
I say it's both. It started with the sins of the founding fathers. It continues on today because of the generational embedment of racism and hierarchyism. If that's a word, you know what I'm trying to say.
You
That
said
was
it.
good. That was good.
You said it.
Um, and because this continuing on and it's become generational,
Sounds good.
they're having a hard time of facing their past to move on to the reality.
Y'all get it. Y'all get it. You got more?
Nope.
Sean, it's on you.
Back off what Tanya said. They don't want to face their past.
Mm.
They're not interested in that. They would love to move on and allow things to be exactly how it is.
Yep. Timmy? All right,
I
Mr.
agree
Lacy.
with Sean. I agree with Sean.
Mr. Lacy, what do you say?
I always say you're supposed to nip the problem in the bud at the beginning, which is the founding fathers. Even that word, found in fathers, like they want to portray themselves as lords and all these other high gestures that they give themselves in court and shit. So nowadays, they don't have to erase the black person. All they do is move the goalposts or reclassifies. Look how many times we've been reclassified from Keller to
Ooh,
Negro, Black,
ooh.
African American. It's crazy. They'll just reclassify you and tell you that no, you have nothing to do with those people over there.
That was good,
You
G.
know, you know
That
what?
was good.
You got more? You got more? Anybody else
No,
got
that
something
was
to
it,
add?
big dog.
I want to take this time to have a round of applause for Mr. Lacy tonight.
I'm
Everybody join
I'm
me in
a,
a
I'm a
round of
clown him.
applause. Because
I'm a clown him.
you on point tonight, my brother. I got to tell you that.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
sound like
on
one of
point.
us tonight, boy.
Yeah, you do.
I
Shot.
am one of y'all.
we might have to what is
Done.
it, laminate your black card?
Oh my
Sure.
God. I was gonna say that unless we get on the Trump comment. Oh.
Wait.
Well,
Just don't. Let's just stay where we at.
love you, G.
Let's just stay where
Right?
we at. That
He's
I love y'all
spitting.
too.
He's
um
spitting tonight, boy.
let's stay where we at. Question where we at. Okay. All right, question number 9. How would self-imposed segregation let me read this right. How would self-imposed segregation of the black nation strengthen or weaken the next generation? So again, how would the self-imposed segregation of the black nation strengthen or weaken the next generation? Tanya, you're up first.
Oh God, you would give me that question first. I think that I think that it would weaken because United we stand, divided we fall.
Okay, so are you implying united with all other races?
Yeah, because they already got us segregated.
Okay.
Am I understanding the question correctly?
You understand the assignment.
Okay.
That's your answer.
Yeah.
Patsy, same question. Um, how would basically how would the black nation self-imposed segregation uh strengthen or weaken the next generation?
Well, I'm gonna agree with Tanya because it was weaken the next generation because there'll be a lag in learning on how to communicate with all diversities, not just the black community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to understand the white community, Portuguese, Spanish. You have to be able to understand where they're coming from or whatever, and try to not to segregate yourself and not to not know your own culture,
Mm-hmm.
but to understand others so that way you can blend a community um to diversify and to get everybody to work together and not be so hateful towards one another, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Timmy, what do you say?
I think that each generation is supposed to learn from the other what to do and what not to do. So our our mother and uncles learn from their mother and father's generation. And so even though they might not went through the things that their parents went through, they still had things that they learned from their parents that, helped them throughout their life, right? So it's just like us, our generation, we learned a lot of things from our elders that, would get us through the rest of our lives from the knowledge and the know-how that they taught all of us. So now we can, pass that down to our kids and they're going to do it to their kids. So I think if you learn from each generation and don't try to downplay or dismiss what the past is, because the past is, like Sean said, the past is like today, so you can't try to dismiss things that from the past because it's part of your past and it's part of your future as well.
Well said, well said. Duchess, what do you say?
What's the question?
Question number, excuse me. Question number 8. Excuse me. Um, would the self-imposed segregation of the black nation, excuse me, I stand corrected. How would the self-imposed segregation of the black nation strengthen or weaken the next generation?
I think it might strengthen because if we're not worried about anybody else and we're worried about ourselves, we'll be a better ladder to the next generation.
Okay. 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 Robbie, what do you say? Brimage? All right.
Sorry. I'm trying to really figure out how does that really work? Because if we did say to ourselves, didn't deal with any other cultures, we are hospitals, liquor stores, grocery stores, libraries, whatever, gas stations, and so on. If you want to stay to yourself, black people must first start building up their communities without outside help. You can't just think it's going to be, it's like easier said than done because if we're not together right now within our own communities and our own culture, how are we going to push these other cultures to the side and say, we don't need you guys, stay out of our business, mind yours, and we're going to do so much better. We do better, honestly, when black people fry their chicken with a little bit of salt and pepper, flour, and cornmeal, whatever you choose to do. And then this Spanish person over here throws a garlic clove in the grease and fry their chicken with the Goya seasoning and all that other stuff, henna saison or whatever. So then you move on to the England people, whoever might boil theirs first. We're learning different things, but with the same piece of chicken, different cultures took it and taught the next one a different way. So we need each other. We definitely need each other. We don't need to stop pushing them aside again. Let's learn out how to work together and make it right.
Okay. Um, let's go to Sean for before Gregory. Sean,
Yes,
same
repeat that
question.
again. Yes, please.
How would self-imposed segregation of the Black nation strengthen or weaken the next generation?
Um, I think it would phew, weaken, and the reason why I say that is because the mindset that we have as a people now
Hmm?
is a selfish mindset. And although you would have a good core of people that would try to unite us, the fight would be so strong because we still have that crab in the barrel mentality amongst each other.
Gregory, what do you say?
I'm a big believer in Malcolm X, so I think the proof is in the pudding where we did used to have a Black Wall Street, or when I said that our people were peaceful people before the savages came here and started making, when people superimpose and become jealous of the things that they don't understand, that's when the problem's created. Now, I wouldn't mind having people from different races that are actually on our side in our segregation process. Because when we separate, we would want to bring the people that actually love us to our side. It's not that we don't want to be around a different type of person. It's that we don't want to be oppressed by the oppressor. You get what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
When
There
you
you
got
go.
dominant black communities and it shows, you know what they did to us. They firebombed us. They flooded cities with dams. Look at Lake Lanier. Look at it. It was a black dominant town. You get what I'm saying? So I think if we did separate ourselves from the bunch, we could strive, pros- prosper in different areas. Look at Africa. They got so many different nations involved in them that they can't even come together and be one nation if they wanted to. They got their tribalism, and then they got people from France owning this region, and you got people from the US owning this region, and you got people from Europe owning this region. You get what I'm saying? So they're never gonna be able to come together because their people are being superimposed with thoughts that aren't even theirs.
And thank you, Greg. Because that's what I meant by that.
Okay.
That was
Go ahead, Sean.
no, that because of the fact that we've been indoctrinated the way that we have been.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of us have taken on certain cultures
Mm-hmm.
to where trying to do anything different would probably be foreign to us. You know, that term when it was like, I'm set in my ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I look at that. Like I believe what Gregory said. I think in time down the line, but how many generations will it take before
Right. It would
that
be a
would
whole
take into play?
correcting process
Mm-hmm.
from the disconnect that we had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am inclined to believe with um I'm inclined to agree with Gregory yet again and Kiana. And I'm gonna do so because of the way the question was presented. Self-imposed. That means we have the choice of when and where we implement this and when we decide to begin it and stop it, right? So I feel like that we can do, if choosing, with all these other uh segregated communities do in a sense in sometimes countries. They send the best of their best out to collect information and bring it back. Like what's that? The bees that do that, right? They send them out and they come back and they bring back the information and stuff they back to what is that called? The where
What would be?
The
the
hive.
worker, the hive. They send them out and they do all those things and then they come back. But so I feel like that. I think it would strengthen us because it would be at our hands. No one is it's not mandatory at that point, and no one's forcing us. So it would be us that is controlling this implementing the segregation. Because in a sense, guys, if you think about it, this has already happened with other communities and stuff like that, and they have fared well. They police their own, and they take
Community. Look at the country clubs. They're
yes,
segregated.
they take care of their own and stuff like that. I'm not even talking about just the clubs and stuff like that. Even here in Boston, you have these certain like races and nationalities that have carved out their own little places here in Boston. You got in most towns, you got a Chinatown and the
Little
demographic.
Haiti.
Yep, Little Haiti now. You got what you call it, Italy on with this
Mm-hmm.
north end, stuff like that. You got Revere that is predominantly Russian, and stuff like that. So these people have already done it, but it's not like they made an announcement, and we don't have to
No,
make
even
announcements
even
either.
the Polish has a Polish club over there near Andrew on I think either Boston Street or Dot Ave near Andrew Station.
The
So
Greeks. The Greeks got
yeah,
Boston place clubs like that too.
so we can do
Yeah.
it. We can do it. I mean, again, just like anything, a weakness can become a strength. And a strength can become a weakness too if you don't manage it well. But I think that self-imposed the idea of trying it can't hurt us any more than what we have already been damaged. And whereas the next generation is concerned, again, this is a trial period. If it
If they
doesn't
get
work,
somebody saying, "Get your hand out of my pocket."
well, again, trial and error.
How
I mean, because
how
they're
how is it going to
experimenting
work?
on us anyways.
You're experimenting on your own people.
Well, in this sense, like I said, it's self-imposed implies that you're doing it, that you're choosing to
Yeah,
go
to be
into.
exiled.
No, it's not exile. It's different.
That's what you're being in your own culture.
No,
Get
no.
out of here.
Segregation is different from exile.
I mean,
No,
you're
Uncle
not
Rob, we
allowing no
take the
one in.
people from
It's
other races that want to be a part of our race too. We take them in. They coming in with us.
Not even no, because you don't even necessarily have to do that. You could do like everybody else do. They send the best of their best out and they get the information, the education, everything, and they bring it back to their own. And they implement it with them to their own. And then they take them and send them out, and then they set up and they become more successful than the generation before them. So again, it's not necessarily a bad idea. It doesn't have to be long term. It can be a short term approach to gain your long term goal, to accomplish your long term goal. If that makes any sense to anybody.
What would the long term goal be?
To better our nation as a whole.
Oh yeah, to have many black like the veterans have halls, and the bikers they have their own halls and stuff like that. Like this is a black members only bar or something. This
So
is
Okay.
are we talking about trying to come together as a nation, as a community, or what? Because
Uh, uh,
right now it's going towards the haves and the haves now. And if we need to be looking at this as a humanity issue and not cultural and race.
So we are one part, we are one part of the human race. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is self-imposed segregation is not necessarily a bad idea for this current black nation, this generation, because I feel like there are some weaknesses that we need to strengthen. It's not actually a bad idea. It does not mean that we are going to collect all our people and crawl into a hole and disappear. No, it's saying we're going to take some time, we're going to police our people, we're going to cultivate, we are going to educate our own. Because look it, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Truth of the matter is, like I said, we already doing it. It just ain't been no announcement. Everybody else is saying what we doing. We got our HBCUs, which they don't want us to have, right?
Yeah.
well, that's because all the HBCUs are named after Masonic white people.
Yeah, but who's educating our people? They got
It's
they got
and that's what I meant about them
they
winning the
got they
war.
got these schools and stuff that
And
is
because
supposedly
the,
geared
edu-
towards the betterment of the black of the all black people, right?
the
But not
Rockefellers
everybody
decided
in
all the
those
education.
schools are white. So there lies my point too. Like I said, send our best of the best out there, get the education, and then one day we can educate and police our own. It does not necessarily have to be under the tutelage of everybody else. We can do it. We have scholars. We come from our kings and queens and scholars. We're very educated people. That's what I'm saying. It will not hurt us. We're farmers. We can do all of that. I think that we have to show our people that it's good to be black. We are successful. We can be successful. So we need to implement. We need to plant some new seeds to prosper. Because again, all our success is being like again, they're trying to erase it. And anything that we have been successful with, they done burnt it down or burnt the pages to tell you so.
And I think integration's a little dangerous sometimes too, because look at the schools. Instead of them they they had a thing about they didn't want to impose religion on to kids in school, but then they came up with a whole LGBTQ book line and started imposing gender gender fluid whatever it's called to the kids and stuff. You see what
So
I'm saying? So it's
Oh,
dangerous.
like the transgenderism.
yeah,
Yeah, you want to integrate stuff that is bad. You see these people's goals. It don't make no sense.
and just so we clear, guys, I'm not when I'm saying let's stay into what we're talking about. I am not saying that we should remove people's choice. No, that's why it's self-imposed. You are making a decision if you want to do this or not. You're not being forced to do so. You have a decision as opposed to the beforehand the ruling nation or ruling parties telling you this is what it is. Blacks over here, whites over here, rich over here, poor down there. You see what I'm saying? Now you have a choice.
So, could I ask this before we move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Schools, families, everything, just life period. This is where I'm going with it. The black people that want to do such things like this, you got to keep in mind we're like multi-grain. We're like to the pancakes in everyone's houses.
Hmm.
So there's families with a little black in them mixed with white. There's families with black in them mixed with Chinese. There's families with blacks mixed with Spanish people. There's families with blacks mixed with a lot of different race. What happens when you do that and your daughter is white and black?
Hmm.
Now she's supposed to learn this culture, come over here and live with these people, do everything underneath you guys' way of living. But she has to return to her white family side and listen to how they choose to live. Do she get cast out from the white or the black side because she's only supposed to be surrogated to what her culture? Would you
Think about the
make of her
stories that you know,
Let
choosing?
him
Uncle Rob.
finish. Let him finish.
Is it, what you think is of her choosing? How does that make the Spanish black, the white black, the Chinese black, the Mexican black, whatever,
So what
feel?
I go back to what I initially said. It's self-imposed. We are not taking away people's option to choose. They no, it's not mandatory. You can do what you want. You have a choice opposed to before where you had no choice. You
Hmm.
did what you was told to
Right.
do, or they beat you into submission. And this in this day and age, it would be a choice. You don't have to give up anything that you already have to acquire more from your own. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's not a bad thing. It's just about the person that's utilizing the choice. It's how you
Hmm.
utilize your choice. Does that make any sense?
Very, very much so.
Okay.
Uncle Rob, I was
Choice.
gonna
Yeah.
say I know people that, well, before I even say that, there was that one drop Negro blood rule anyway, so it didn't matter if you had the white in your family. If you're mixed with the black person, you end up ultimately being black, and they're gonna call you
Exactly.
light
Yep.
skin.
No
Yep.
choice.
And
Yep.
I know so many people, and they don't even have to be just a European white. They can be a Spanish conqueror white. You get what I'm saying? Their family will disown the mother and the child. You get what I'm saying? Or the father and the child because you mixed outside of our race. And
So,
that goes deep into the Bible too, because we weren't supposed to be mixing races the way we are.
but in this scenario, you are given the option. You don't have to give up anything. You have more to gain than to lose. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? We're already doing it. We're already doing it in a sense. It's just where it's not publicized. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We're already
Sure.
doing it. That's truth of the matter. Because
But you,
either you're doing it or they're doing it to you.
yeah, but you identify as.
Exactly. Therefore, it's already happened. You hear people saying, I don't identify as black, but the color of their skin is still what? Black. Or they're being categorized as being black. You're already doing it. You're already doing it. You're just not making an announcement about it. So that's why I said self-imposed. You're not being forced. You can come and go as you choose. All right, let's go on to the next one. That was an interesting one too. All right, I think we're on question number 10. Question number 10. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one, y'all. Question number 10. Is modern America more likely to elect a black female candidate or a black male president for president? Uh, I'm going to go to Gregory first.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say that they're more likely to pick a black female president before a male president because the males they don't want you to have no type of sniff of power. We will put a black female in charge of you niggas.
Come on.
Hmm. Okay. Robert, what do you say? Robert? Timmy, you still with us? Patsy, you with
Yep,
us?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, y'all got a delay. Question number 10. Is modern America more likely to elect a black female candidate for president or a black male candidate for president?
I think it probably will be a female if it ain't a gay black man.
Okay. Patsy, what do you say?
I can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Is modern America more likely to elect a female black candidate for president or a black male candidate for president?
I want to say a female black president. Um, More than likely, but it could be also on the flip side. It could go either way, really, depending on what people are really thinking on this scenario, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Duchess, you still with us?
Yeah.
So the question is modern America more likely to elect a black female candidate or a black male candidate for president?
Black male. They're not they would this country couldn't accept a white female, couldn't accept a black female, so they're definitely not going to be willing to accept a black female over a black male.
Okay.
Could I answer that?
Yeah.
They're gonna be forced to accept a gay, black, lesbian dyke for a president because they ain't gonna be able to turn it down or they're gonna be in the courts.
Okay. Tanya, what do you say?
What do I say? Are those the only two options?
Those are the options. Black
Okay.
female candidate or black male candidate for president?
Okay. My thought process behind all of this is that I would want it to be a black female president because it's been black women that's been holding democracy up for ages. We're the ones who've been fighting for democracy the most. And democracy is on the line, but the way that this country is so misogynistic, they would go with a black male.
I'm inclined to believe.
Good choice of words.
I'm inclined to agree with you. Yep. Sean, it's on you.
Yeah, I would go with the black male because America already knows how powerful the black female is.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely, I'm going to go out here. I believe that America believes that the black female is the more intelligent part of our race, to where if she was in charge, she would have that kind of power to actually get us to really come together. And America ain't ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you imagine two candidates going against each other with the likes of Jasmine Crockett and Barack Obama in the black community. Do you know the split between female and male that would happen?
That'd be the
Mhm.
best thing you've seen on your television
No,
screen.
it wouldn't be the best thing for our community though.
Right.
Mm-mm.
It wouldn't, because there will have to be a winner, and somewhere down the line there will be some feelings hurt
Mhm.
because of however things would have went down. People would have a problem with it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Let me ask this question. Do y'all think it would be the ultimate if that scenario happened? That would that be the ultimate thing that would be the coffin, the nail in the coffin, that our counterparts would strive for because it would have us divided?
It's the ultimate divide at the ultimate level.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
But
Especially depending how they go about it.
but if those are the final choices, you have the Democratic and you have the Republicans. So you got either someone's representing the black female or the black male. So it's a win-win situation for the black nation.
But it's not.
No, it's not. It's a
It's
It's a
not.
win-win.
separation.
It's a
It's
win-win
It's a
not.
situation
divide,
for
Uncle
the
D.
other.
Well, we're divided every time we go out to vote, true or false.
But this is the ultimate divide amongst your people, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They've been sure
yeah.
they've been everything they
It's,
do is to separate the union of man, child, and woman. You know that.
mm-hmm.
All right, so I would say this before we move on to the last question, unless anybody has anything else to add before I say this. Does anybody else have anything to add? All right, then I'm gonna say this. So I say this all the time, and I'm gonna stay true to form. America is deeply rooted in prejudice, and they have already shown you that they would rather vote for the black male over the black female because as much as they think they can tame the black female, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You can't. The black man. He'll hmm, he'll go along to get along. But I feel like in a position of authority, the black woman, they're shrewd, they're cool, but I think at some point, they could bring us together or they can divide us. But because they can't control her, that's why they're not gonna elect her. Period. Plus, like Tanya said, they don't like women in power, let alone minorities in power. So you got two things stacked, well, several things stacked against you. You're a woman, and you're a minority, and you're not the selected race. So it's not going to be them. They're still licking their wounds about their loss to Obama. So they're not about to let lose again what they feel is going to be on a grander level in electing a black female as president. I just don't. They've done it
Obama
everywhere
is a
else.
Jewish African.
They've done it everywhere else in the world except America. Because again, America cannot get past their original sin, and their original sin is hate for black skin. That's their problem. But I'm gonna move on to question number 11, and this is a good one. Before we get started, Patsy, you still with us, beloved?
Yes.
Patsy, you get to pick who is going to end the show.
Done.
Sean? Okay. You're up first, Patsy.
Okay.
All right. Excuse me. Question number 11. No, hold on. Going too far down. Got to get the right one. Here we go. Question number 11. Is the American dream still obtainable, or has it become a reoccurring nightmare for the impoverished inhabitants of America? So, is the American dream still obtainable, or has it become a nightmare for the impoverished inhabitants of America?
I think it's still obtainable depending on your what your dream is, because the American dream is different for everyone.
Mhm.
So therefore, what your American dream is may differ than mine, and we couldn't accomplish it if we put our mindset to do and achieve what our dreams are. And we should not let no one put us down and tell us we can't do it. So therefore, if you allow someone else to dictate, oh, that's impossible, that's not part of the mainstream or what you should be doing as a person or lower income or because of your color, the color of your skin,
Mhm.
you shouldn't really listen to that. But people allow their rhetoric to actually um be be an influencer on their thoughts and their will to do what they want to do and follow their dream.
Okay, well said. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you for tuning in. Uh, Timmy, what do you say?
Hit me with the question again.
Is the American dream still obtainable, or has it become a nightmare for the impoverished members of America?
Anything, anything is obtainable. You have to put your mind to get in the American dream if that's what you are after. Some people are not after the American dream. They just want to live.
Huh?
You know, they don't have to have riches. Long as they are living and they're straight where they ain't struggling, they good. That's the American dream to them, where they ain't no struggle.
Well said. Well said. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you. Duchess, you with us?
Yes.
You've been waiting all night for this question. Is the American dream still obtainable, or has it become a nightmare for the impoverished inhabitants of America?
What's the American dream? Who made the American dream? If it's what a house, a picket fence, 2.5 kids and a dog, who the fuck wants that?
So what does the American dream look like to you
That's
when you
right,
hear the dream?
Godmommy. Tell 'em.
Miss Timmy, is that you?
So what does the American dream look like to you when you dare to dream?
It will not be bombarded every day by racism, stupidity, ignorance, arrogance. It will be like I don't want to say there's no such thing as a completely peaceful life, but to wake up, have your needs met, where you're not trying to outfox the next person to rob Peter to pay Paul. That you live comfortably, not you don't necessarily have to be above your means, but comfortably within your means, able to have a balance. Like nobody's work life should be their life, or you have to sacrifice yourself because you need health care. I mean, that is not the American dream that I hope for.
Hmm? Well, I'll say this. Fortunately, on the island of Kiana and that queendom, none of that will be tolerated. So I thank you for your participation and your insight. Remich, is the American dream still obtainable? Or has it become a nightmare for its impoverished members of America?
Well, I can't speak for the American dream, but I definitely can speak for my dream. So I take my dreams to prayer and I ask Jesus Christ to bless me with my dreams here on earth as he sees fit in heaven.
Say less. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you in that scripture, that word. God bless you. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Mr. Lacey, you've been on point all night. Same question. Is the
So,
American dream still obtainable? Or
to
has it
all,
become a nightmare for the impoverished members of America?
I was about to say to all my dreamers, keep dreaming, but then I'm thinking, no, don't keep dreaming. You go and achieve what you want out of your dreams is what you need to do. And as far as the American dream is concerned, the American dream is just that, but a dream. And you gotta row your boat gently down the stream to achieve that. You get what I'm saying? So don't stop believing in the goals that you can accomplish.
Yes, that's what I was saying in the beginning.
Well said, well said. Appreciate you. God bless you. Tanya, it's on you, beloved.
I'm here.
Same question. Is the American dream still obtainable or has it become a nightmare for the impoverished inhabitants of America?
If your American dream is to achieve the will and purpose that God has for your life, and that is to love your neighbor as well as you love yourself, to get rid of the hate, love is the most powerful thing, then it's attainable.
Again, I like this godly approach. I appreciate you. Sean, my brother, take us home. Is the American dream still obtainable or has it become an American nightmare to the impoverished inhabitants of America?
I'm gonna start off by saying that I appreciate and respect everyone's perspective on this and their answers to this question because I agree with it all. But because you used the phrase American dream, I'm going to speak to it as we grew up knowing what the so called American dream was supposed to be. It was supposed to be, we wanted to be that city on a hill in the pursuit of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And at the state that the world is in right now, that they're making it so hard to achieve all of that because, as a statement was made earlier, the goalposts of either being considered an American or being here legally or being here in the rightful standing, the goalpost has been moved so much to where coming to America, being in America, like I'll say it like this: those of us that are Americans and been and that are born here and full fledged, like that is even in jeopardy to us.
Mm.
So, do I see it as obtainable, what is there to obtain? What is it offering us? What do we benefit from it?
Love it. Love it.
In the words of the late great Martin Luther King, he feels that the dream has turned into a nightmare. He led his people into a burning house.
Mm,
Okay.
And
Well,
I have to say, God has the final say.
Anybody else? Sean?
he definitely does. He definitely does.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So I will say this in closing, Sean. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you as well as everyone else. America, your government has been slowly rocking you to sleep. And some of you are still sleepwalking through life. Time to wake up.